I'm Jamil, and I work in the pharmaceutical industry. In fact, last month I celebrated 25 years in the industry, and I work in the global marketing function of a pharmaceutical company called Merck. So Kareem and I had worked before when he was part of a consulting company called Axiom, and we did get a chance to work on a really long project on lung cancer, and that's how I got to know him. And then I heard that he had moved on and started his own venture, and he was into something quite different because given his professional background as a doctor and then consulting experience, this was something new and innovative, and I reached out to him.
Yeah.
I really like to keep in touch with people that I've worked with. I mentor a lot of people across the industry, and I enjoyed working with him. And when I saw on LinkedIn what he was doing or trying to do, I said, let's talk with him and see what he's up to. And that's how we started talking. You reach a certain age, I'm 57, and you realize that three things that you have to do good. So you have led a very stressful life the last 2.5 decades, surviving in pharma. We moved around. We lived in Switzerland, we lived in Saudi Arabia, worked for 4 different companies. This is my 4th company. It's a high stress job and long hours, and you sometimes do that at the expense of taking care of yourself. So things that are important, like eating well, sleeping well, and of course, going to a fitness regime, exercising appropriately. Those were important for me, and I felt that I wasn't doing at least 2 of them not good enough. Sleep, I did have a rhythm, so I usually go to bed between 10 and 15, and I'm off to sleep, and I wake up between 5 to 5:30 usually. So that, I have been doing that for a while now. It's hard to maintain when you're traveling also, so I've cut down on my travels, business travels, trying to delegate to the junior members of the team who love to travel, so which is a good thing. But then eating well was, and exercising well was that something that I thought I needed. That's how I started on this program. I find Kareem to be an authentic person, and he's a thoughtful partner. When we were working on that project, I was his client. I was in the industry side. He was on the basically consulting company side, and the relationship that we had built, I trusted him, and more importantly, I felt that there was a scientific basis based on what he would say during that consulting gig, and then what he's trying to do now. And appropriately, when he pitched the idea about living well, performing well, and a 12-week regimen that had an expiry date. I'm goal-oriented, so I said, okay, 12 weeks is sustainable and doable. Let's see what happens. And I was curious, and we got together, talked about it a couple of times, and then we started in the beginning of June. I think it was not a prescriptive approach. It took into account where I am in my journey of what is called life, and also the constraints, the beliefs, the motivations or lack thereof that I have, and working out a program that's personalized, customized, and with a rhythm that was easy to follow. You got a program where you just join and 1 in a million, and you will benefit, most will not. This was very personalized. One is time. Means you are busy with your career. You're busy because it's summer, and in the northern hemisphere and the Western world, summer is a time when you do a lot of extracurricular things, and also summer is a time when family and kids and other engagements take up much of your time. You're also traveling because there are some cancer congresses that happen in summer, so you are also traveling at that time. I think time was one major constraint. The other one is just mental makeup. It means you know that you have reached a stage where you need to bring some focus to what you do with your life, because you are what you eat and what you do with the time in terms of exercise and sleeping and working. So I felt that was the motivational mental makeup was the second constraint. good. It's online, and I was meeting him at 6 a.m. in the morning on Fridays. So by 7, I was done, and I was ready to then immerse at work, so it didn't interfere with my work. And while I traveled, once I took a call from Amsterdam and another time from Bermuda, but I made sure that I did speak to him also when I'm traveling.
Mhm.
So at the beginning it was daunting that for every week I'll have to put an hour Friday morning dedicated to this, but after a couple of weeks, I was looking forward to it. Gentle prodding, providing that I would say that crutch at one times needed, providing that help, the push, and sometimes demanding, rarely, but I think it's a mix of love, push, and determination to help me understand what I need, rather than telling me. It was me recognizing that this is good for me and this I need to do. If I'm serious about this program, which is very short, 12-week program, I have to make sure that every week counts. I was not looking to become Tom Cruise, who is just a few years older than me. I'm trying to be myself, feel healthy, feel fit, and more importantly, have that energy to do the things, and then have a way of looking at what I eat, what I do, and how I exercise and continue with my sleep. I lost 10.5 pounds in Perth. For me, the main thing was make sure that this is not just a fade. It's like a fad and it fades away as soon as that fad is over. So fading is important for me, that I don't want it to. I want to recognize that this is a new way of looking at life in terms of eating, playing, having fun, and sleeping. And I want to continue this and sustain this. And there will be good weeks and bad weeks. I understand that, because that's life. But I want to make sure that if there is a bad week, that I have a good week right up. I want to take it as it comes. I have a sweet tooth. So in the 12 weeks, I only had like twice dessert, because that too, my sister's milestone birthday, and also my son's birthday. But other than that, I was able to avoid it, and I would like to continue that. So those little things count, because every calorie adds up. Here's the good thing about the program was it was never about here's 10 things that you do, or 5 things you eat, or 6 exercises you do, and that will be it. It was about discovering myself, my limits. What Karim made it easy was stepwise thinking about this, and then discovering myself in those questionnaires that I did in terms of how do I see myself now, and how do I see myself in the future, and what I want to become, and what are my aspirations, and then putting in that framework in terms of faith and fitness and family and financials. And it helped me to understand that this is not a program just about doing an exercise regimen. It's more about holistically thinking about who am I, and what I really want to do, and how do I want to lead the rest of my life. What has really changed me is that now if I see food, like there was a big retirement party at work yesterday, and there was a lot of food, and I make sure that I ate my salad, which I usually do at work now. Every afternoon I go down to the cafeteria, get my salad, and I ate my salad, and I stayed away from all the sweet desserts that were around all across the building. So. This program, of course, the way it's structured and all is meant for professionals who's thinking about boosting their performance and improving in their whatever lifestyle choices they want to make. But I think it's for everyone. It's not only for professionals. This can be done by even people who don't work, they're retired, or people who are semi-retired, or people who are even younger than me, in the middle of the career, who's just thinking about focused on career are not thinking about themselves and their family, and that health is really your wealth that you will ever have.